Okay. I'm on live now. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Joe Live Show. Today it's the 10th of January, 2026. Um, as we begin to talk at the program, one of the things that I know that many of you may want to discuss is, and I'll say just what it is: the murder of a woman that you saw live by police officers. It happened, ICE police officers, and you watch the murder and they try to tell you that you didn't see what you thought you saw. And you know you've seen this was actually a murder. And you watch a cover up of the murder by police officers, ICE police officers. But this is the world that we live in now, though, folks. That can get away with murder. And no matter how hard we try to get people to respect our law enforcement, but how can you when you see the law enforcement don't respect your life whatsoever? And they can gun you down and blow your head right off of your shoulders and murder you and try to say you didn't see what you thought you saw. And this was so terrible. Then you get behind those that goes and try to cover it up. But the things I want to say to you people that you can always tell when those people that are trying to lie say the words that they do, and I mean, how many did you pay attention to the exact words? The woman that comes out was bannified, was trying to uh, edify about the police officer that shot and killed this woman. She was saying this over and over again that he was fearing for his life. When you know that was not true, you know you saw it as well as I did, and everybody else all over the country saying they knew this woman is a liar. This is the devil's people. That's who they are. They wear a badge and stuff, but they are the devil's people. Plain and simple. It's an old tactic that they use. They repeat these words over. J.D. Vance is the same thing, the devil's people. I listened to what he said. Trump sent him out because Trump, everybody's really upset with him. He knew all over the world with him for sending the people. So he sent J.D. Vance out to talk about it. J.D. Vance used the exact same words over and over again. It's called repeat, repeat. They say sometimes you tell a lie long enough, people begin to believe it's true. And that's what he did the whole time he was doing his speech. He kept saying, this officer was afraid of his life. This woman was trying to run him over. When you and I saw the video and know that it was nothing but a blatant lie, you're getting to know the liars in our government. They're there. They're right there, plain and simple. They're going to try to tell you didn't see what you saw. That's all I'm trying to tell you. This called a psychology by keep repeating a lie to eventually begin to think that maybe it is true. Maybe you didn't see what you thought you said. I was used to that, like I told you before. I was married to a woman who used to play that game with me because she was a pathological liar. Those are the marks of a pathological liars. That's who they are. And she used to do that on me a lot and tell me something that I did not see what I knew I saw. They all do that. All of them do that. That is the first thing you know. You're dealing with a pathological liar. They can pass lie detector tests because they're so convinced that what they're telling you, even though it's a lie, they believe it. When J.D. Vance was on that thing, he kept repeating his words. And if you go back and watch the tape, you'll hear the exact word. This officer was afraid for his life. She was trying to run him over. And you know, not a bit of that was true. None of it. You saw the video just like I did, and hundreds of other people saw it. They knew this was a blatant lie, that these people are liars, pathological liars. You know, the thing that they always forget because they have no fear of God. That's why. That they have no fear of God whatsoever. So they can go there and they ain't worrying about it until the end, when judgment day for them come upon, when they can stand before God Almighty Heavenly Father and try to lie to Him, which they can't do. But they got to deal with that. They will. Excuse me. Now, many of you, just like myself, just feel that I just wish it would hurry up and happen because God has the timing for it. Because there's a lot more things that's going to be done that they're going to lie about, that God's going to all get it together, that they're going to pay for all of it. He's going to make sure they're going to spend eternity in hell for that lie. They will. They will. And I know it. And many of you Christians know exactly what I'm talking about. They will pay for that. That's why God just tell you, relax. He's got it. Him and the angels see every single thing and every word that goes on. They see him. The day come when they got to stand before the judge of all judges, our Heavenly Father, and try to insert that lie, which they're going straight to Hell. You know they are. They're going to pay for it. They're going to pay for that. But that's the trouble with these people. They got enough gifts to the gas to convince you to help them elect into public offices because they got the gifts. They had to convince you that they're the perfect person until they get in there. Now you know that they lied to you. They're not. They're the worst thing you could have ever elected. Bad, worse. These things go on in our life, no matter throughout the world. We deal with people like this constantly. Some of the people give you a good face on like they are just perfect. They're a perfect thing, just God's little angels. Until you put them in a position where of control, and suddenly you see them begin just what Satan did, Lucifer did, begin to try to take over. And you see this, and you sit and you wonder. But folks, I want you to understand that's not your fault. I really want you to understand. I want the Republican Party to understand that, but I don't blame them. We are all human beings, and we can be convinced of things at times. That happens. That does happen. But what we do now is to pray God to correct our mistakes that we make. That's all we can do. And he's watching and he's listening. Because what you once thought was going to be something good just turned into a disaster, a total disaster. As the devil controls these people. And now you got him in control of your whole country. He is destroying your country. Donald Trump is destroying America. America has been looked at as nobody wants to come here anyway. Not no more. Not seeing the way that it is and under his leadership. Who wants it? How did a man as a convicted felon begin to run the country of America? A convicted felon, folks. And let that sink in your head. And how do you endorse a convicted felon? Convicted. You understand? Not assumed innocent, but convicted. Had his day in court. And they found him guilty of all the felonies that he was doing. And you still escalate him up to the highest office of our land called the President of the United States of America. And while he's there, he's doing everything in his power to destroy this country. You worried about Putin, Kim Jong Un killed or whatever, and they're not. Our military is so deployed to fight the domestic and foreign. Well, you got the domestic violence going on right here in the presidency and those people that are around him. He only picks those people that will honor him and give his words. They have sold their soul to the devil for money, for to get those officers that they got, presidents and vice presidents or whatever, because they get more money. So they sold their soul to the devil for money. But like I said, all of them have their judgment day is going to come. They will pay for that. Let's not be deceived from that. I know it angers us when we say, how long is it going to take? Well, that we don't know. Only God knows when that's going to happen. He's got a judgment for them. He's watching them. He's already set a judgment day for them. Many things is going to happen to them before that time comes. God's going to punish them. And I try to tell American people, please don't go out there and do nothing violent against them. Don't do that's what they want you to do. Don't do that. Let it in the hands of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He will take care of it. He will handle that. He's going to handle it. There's nothing they can do about that. Not one thing. So that's why I said I see it and I said, okay, Mrs. Satan, devil imps, I hear you. I know who you are. My job is to stay away from them, get as far away from them as I possibly can, stay away from that mess. I'm not going to allow them to interfere with me in my life whatsoever. I'm going to let them build up this hatred, the bigotry in me, bring me down to their level. No, I refuse to do that. That's why it bugs me sometimes when some of you get so frustrated that you actually come out and do physical violence, and you shouldn't do that. And then you end up getting yourself hurt or killed or whatever. That poor woman, I hope God knows that she didn't do anything wrong. She was just scared for her life. Somebody pointing a gun at you, and she was trying to get away from him pointing that gun at her. And if you looked at the wheels of her car, was not pointing nowhere near him. He deliberately tried to get in front of her so he could have something to do. Now, here's the thing, and many of you got to remember this when you're hearing people tell this line. You can hear it over and over again. Her words were this, and did you really pay attention? She said, they did what they were trained to do. Remember those words. They were trained to do that murder. Do you understand? She said it. They did what they were trained to do. Now let that sink in your mind, man. So they're trained to kill you. If you make any kind of what they consider to be resistance to their authority, they got permission to blow your head off, kill you. They got permission. That's what they're trained to do. She just told you that. Did she not say that to you? They did what they were trained to do. She repeated it numerous times so that you get to understand it. They were trained. You know, when you become a law officer and thing like that, my daughter, when she went out there to drive the armored truck, they sent her up to Philadelphia to the academy up there, and they trained her to shoot the guns and how to handle it in case someone tried to rob the truck and what she's allowed to do, how whether she could lose the fourth if they tried to rob the truck. My daughter's sitting right here. She was trained to do that. I said, I know I'm familiar with all that. Me and her talked about that stuff. But that's what they train you to do, to use that lethal force on people. Because you remember, this is the world that we live in. Now, in her situation, there was people trying to steal the money, rob them, or endanger their lives. That was totally different than what happened there. These people were trained. If you resist them at all, they are legal allowed to use what they call deadly force on you. Deadly force. So you got to remember that, folks. This is what caused that problem. Like she said, they did their training. Those are the words that's said to you. Go back and play the tapes over and listen to it again on any other station, and you'll hear it. And you'll plain and hear it plain and simple. She's telling you they were trained to kill people. They were trained to do that. And she repeated it numerous times. They did their training, what they were trained to do. She repeated it often. Did you catch it or did you understand it? Now you understand why that poor woman is dead? They trained their soldiers, these ICE agents, to do that, to kill you. Do they have a conscience? I don't know. Do any of them have any kind of conscience? No. They build their heads up with they're justified. They're justified because they got this suit and this badge. They represent law enforcement at the highest levels. And they believe in it. They believe in it. Now, folks, you got to understand something. A lot of this is our fault. We do it too. When we take and train our military soldiers, we treat them to go out and kill people too. We do it. Ask the military men how do they feel about going to have to kill people. And their situation is different. They were trained to kill people that's trying to kill them, kill or be killed. That's for real. This was not somebody was trying to kill that gentleman. He lied. They lie about that. They lie about that. You call the code of blue sometimes they call it. You know, they will lie for each other and try to tell you that you didn't see what you know you saw. Pathological liars. That's what their job is. And I told you again when Trump sent J.D. Vance out to talk that talk, Pratchett, they behind the scenes they would tell them what to stick to and continue saying it. that these guys were afraid of their life, repeated over and over and over again. So after a while, you begin to question it. Maybe I didn't see what I thought. They say you didn't see what you thought you saw. You understand that? And that's an old lawyer's tactic when you go to courts when their lawyers or some witness against you. They try to get the witness that think they saw you, try to make them confused that they did see you, what they didn't see. It goes on. It's an old school the lawyer tactics that they do on people to get you confused. So all that's what you was hearing. Our hearts goes out truly to that poor woman's family. She had just dropped her child off from school, was getting ready to head home, and now he's not going to see his mother alive again because that so-called officer decided to take her life. He had a hand weapon in his hand, deadly weapon, and he fired it numerous times into that woman's head to make sure she was dead. And then what makes it even worse, there was a doctor on the scene and asked if he wanted to go and try to help the woman, and they refused to let him go do it. Now you're gonna tell me that wasn't intentional, that he wanted to make sure she was dead? The doctor was there and said, let me go. I'm a medical. Let me go over and try to help her. And they said, no, no. Police are trained. Even our police officers, if they shoot you, they are taught to render medical help to you. They are taught to do that. Well, I guess these IC agents aren't. Those are many questions that you can ask the question. And in years to come, you can talk with your government and what's going on. The statement that she said they were trained, they taught, they did what they were trained to do. Says that what they were trained to do to kill the citizens, American citizens like this? I told you, you got the devil into your government. Now you opened the door. I warned you, people warned you. And I don't know, many of you don't listen to me, and other people that were warning you also tried to warn you about that. Don't put this guy into your government, but you done it. This Republican ideology is just, it's a lot of mess. Stop being loyal to them and be loyal to God. Don't be loyal to no one but God. So that's the catch-22 to get you. You act like if you go against the Republican, you're going against God. No, you're not. No, you're not. You've been lied to and making a fool of yourself. That means that those people can do anything that they want to do because they belong to a party that you happen to like. Ask yourself this question: how much out of touch with God have you become? What about you now? What about your country? How do you think you look to the other world, who once saw us one of the best countries in the world? Us seeing us be slowly becoming exactly like their country, killing and murdering people. The very thing they've been trying their best to get away from, they was thought it would be safe in America. Now they know it's not. The lady moved here thinking it was a better life. Well, she ain't got it no more. These are things that you folks got to understand and stop letting people give you this type of lies in your life. You have to learn that one way or the other. In my life, I continue to worship God and pray to God, and everything has been happening. There's so many new things that just happened just already in this year alone. This year is becoming a better year than the year before. Most of all my prayers and stuff is being answered. My kids are then finding that out. Everything that I wanted last year, I couldn't get. But this year, I'm getting them. Everything that I want is coming, one by one, one by one. And they probably, why is this happening now? I say, because if you stay loyalty to God, God will reward you. You will get it. And this is what's happening. I just said, I say, so that's just what I mean. Stay with God. Stop trying to let other people take his place. Nobody can take his place. Don't let don't let the enemy there try to take over God's place because they can't. So that's what many of you are doing. If you're loyalty to Trump, then you can't be loyalty to God. You are denying God. If you lower your loyalty to Donald J. Trump, you are denying God, and God will deny you. So hear my warning that I'm giving you. Donald Trump is the enemy of God. Do you hear me? I said it. He is the enemy of God. Now, if you're supporting him, then you're an enemy of God too. It's plain and simple. Everything is right before your face to see how devilish this man is, that he belongs to Lucifer. The things he wants to do, wants to try to go over and try to take over a country, Greenland, all that stuff. That's the devil. That is totally the devil. It's just like Putin. He wants to be just like Putin. He wants to be a dictator. And folks should ask yourself, where did these people come from? Well, you know where they come from. They give you a history about them, all of them, all the whole family. Anytime you hear that name Trump, you better get away from it. Because that was not the original name anyway. They sort of changed it to Trump because it was Grump or something like that. And he didn't like that, so he wanted to make it spelled Trump. And he had it legally changed to Trump. But that's not the original birth name in the German. That was not it. Let's understand it. So he's hiding behind something that he's not, that originally was. And you fell for that. So those things, are we ready for a video yet?
Yeah, they're small little videos.
Okay.
But I can pay them back to back.
Okay. What I want to do is I hope that I first I wanted to talk to you about these things, let you know my condolences go out to that family for that woman that's murdered. Of course it do. And I prayed for it too, and I asked God to bless her and the family. And that's it. And you know what got me? They gave you the name of that guard, that ICE agent that killed that woman, which I thought was a dangerous thing to do too, because that's going to endanger him or any family members. That's what it's going to do. Because people won't forget that; they'll remember that. But why they gave out his name, I don't know. That's unprecedented too. But they expecting you to retaliate on him or his family behind what's happening? Because it could be something that they're double setting you up to do. Don't do it. Do not do that. Because it's a setup. It's a setup against you. It to cause more of you maybe to get in jail or die. That's what it is. It's a setup. Be know it for what it really is. So I just want to make sure that these things are across to you before something else happens, before we get more news, before somebody else getting killed for trying to retaliate on this. It's a police officer that did what he did, because that's what'll come up next. Because we have sick-minded people that are very low intelligent and will fall for it. So I hope that I'm saying something to some of you before you can rethink and listen to my words and get your mind together before you get yourself into a world of trouble, something that you didn't plan on doing. I hope you listen to it. I'm trying to help you to avoid it. Um, I'd had a lot of videos I was going to change, but I wanted to get things out there. I was trying some way to change your mind, get you in a different mood. We're trying to do that. Some of this stuff just have a little trouble getting it downloaded, but I wanted to take and get you in a different mood, hopefully, and mind from this tragedy. I don't find nothing cute or funny, but just trying to get our minds somewhere different, get you back on track, and get your mind with God. And let's try to enjoy what's left of our lives while we can. The other thing, if you notice, I want to piece this thing. That's why I always, many of the times I said I respect our police officer here in York, the Michael Helfrich, and the Commissioner Muldrows. Our police officers don't carry on like that. They don't do this kind of stuff. They really don't do that. So we've been blessed that we've had these people to help get our officers under control and be responsible human beings. They represent the law, the badge that they wear, the oath they took. They represented, serve and protect you, not go around and murder you and abuse you. They don't do that. So let's just count ourselves lucky. I can't speak for the township, but I think some of the townships is trying to follow the lead here at Dayton, New York. I think they are. But I know that here we have seen what's happening here, and many people have been very happy and proud of the leadership we have. Well, you got the new mayor, and now we'll see if she continues that or what's going to happen next. We'll find out. Only time will tell. All right, so as my daughter's getting ready to run a video agreement, she has to answer the door right now. Now, if you hear the music, it's the people next door. They're playing music very loud. You can hear it coming through these brick walls. You can still hear it. It's so loud it's coming through it. They do it every Saturday that I come here. They got these people doing that. Whenever you get ready to run the video, let me know, Charlie. Then we'll just run it. Then I don't have to talk. But I just said, like I meant, please get all of our prayers out for the lady's family and to help that God will help them and guide them through these terrible times. It's hard. Her child, she just dropped her child off. Her child just lost his mother. Murdered, purely murdered right in front of my eyes. And it's hard to deal with. It really is. It troubles me deep within my soul that I have to witness this murder. These people, these ICE agents don't have a conscience whatsoever. I don't think, are they human? They don't seem to have a conscience on what they do. Nothing whatsoever, not at all. It's a shame. It's a shame. They don't become so hardcore in their training that they don't have a feeling of remorse for what they murdered someone. I don't know. I don't have all the answers to that either, folks. But we understand it, and we just pray that God will intervene some way or another, and I'm sure He will. If we get together and pray hard and ask God to help us to get us through this stuff and get these people straightened out, He will. Yeah, he'll find a way to do it. God can do it. He can do what we can't do. We can run our mouths and protest, but God can put a change to all of it. He can do it. All right, you ready to run it? Go ahead. All right. Here's some videos trying to get you in a different state of mind, folks. Okay, I hope it does.
Five animals that have the worst parents on Earth. Number 5. Harp seal. Harp seals give birth to a single pup and, for about 12 days, pretend to be model parents. They feed the baby extremely fatty milk, stuffing it up like a bowling ball that can't swim, can't hunt, and can barely exist. Then right on schedule, the mother leaves you behind for other males nearby, like a parent saying, "I'll be right back," and never returning. At 12 days old, you're suddenly unemployed, homeless, and expected to survive the Arctic with zero training. Number 4. Giant panda. Giant pandas will often give birth to twins, which sounds adorable until you realize they absolutely refuse to raise both. The mother calmly inspects the babies, chooses the stronger one like she's picking fruit at the market, and commits fully to that choice. The weaker twin is shoved aside and left to starve, while mom focuses on her favorite. No drama, no guilt. Number 3. Cuckoo bird. Cuckoos don't even pretend to parent. The mother lays her eggs in another bird's nest and leaves, outsourcing motherhood like a professional scammer. When the cuckoo chick hatches, it immediately pushes the real bird's babies out of the nest and steals all the food. The foster parents then work overtime feeding a baby that doesn't even belong to them, completely unaware they're being emotionally and biologically robbed. Number 2. Sand tiger shark. Sand tiger sharks take sibling rivalry to levels that require therapy in other species. Inside the womb, the first baby sharks to hatch begin eating their brothers and sisters before they're even born. By the time birth happens, only the strongest survives, already a cannibal with a body count. Number 1. Komodo dragon, the most disturbing parents of all. Komodo dragon mothers lay their eggs and disappear before the babies are even born, emotionally detaching instantly. When the hatchlings emerge, their first instinct is not to explore the world, it's to climb trees to escape their own mother. If she spots you on the ground, she will hunt you down and eat you without hesitation, sometimes consuming the slower siblings right in front of you. 5 wild animal escapes, caught on camera, and number 1 prove that instinct decide everything. Number 5. A lion grips a buffalo inside a river, holding it down. From the bank, the herd watches. Then suddenly, they move. Dozens of buffalo charge toward the water at once. The lion looks up, realizes what's coming, and lets go. Without looking back, the lion runs. And the buffalo escapes, saved by the power of the herd. Number 4. A lioness thought she had the perfect ambush on a sable antelope. But the sable wasn't defenseless. As the lioness closed in, the sable spun around, lowered its head, and flashed its razor-sharp horns. One wrong move could have been fatal. The lioness hesitated, and that hesitation was all the sable needed to break free and escape. Sometimes, courage beats claws. Number 3. 3 cheetahs exploded from cover, ambushing a lone jackal. They chased at full speed, closing in again and again. But the jackal kept zigzagging, turning sharply, ducking at the last second, outmaneuvering the fastest cats on Earth. Finally, the jackal vanished into the distance, almost as if mocking them. Speed means nothing without control. Number 2. 2 lionesses targeted one of the tallest animals in Africa, a giraffe. They lunged, bit, and chased, trying to wear it down. But giraffes are built for endurance. With long strides and powerful legs, the giraffe kept moving faster, farther, stronger. The lionesses fell behind, exhausted. Speed fades, but stamina saves lives. Number 1. A lion ambushes a rival, and within seconds, it turns into a full-speed chase. Dust flies, muscles strain. One mistake could mean death, but luck and timing change everything. The chased lion breaks away at the last moment, disappearing into the landscape. A narrow escape even among kings.
Okay. Videos. Now, I don't know. I'm not sure which one she's showing you. Which ones is these?
It was a couple little clips about cats. It was ones about dogs. Um,
Did you do the ones where the parrot? Did you get the parrot one now?
no, that one didn't download proper.
No, no. I should just bought my tablet. You could have just played
Yeah,
it.
you gotta do that.
Yeah, because I thought those were kind of well, okay. Um, okay. Yeah, sometimes when we try to download them in here, they don't come out for some unknown reason. It gets a little difficult. If I'd have bought my tablet, I could have played them. I might have to start doing that in the future. The only reason I don't blame it because it's smaller, and I guess you have to zoom in and get it. But there were things in there I thought was things that would help you to get your mind together and away from the hatefulness and evilness that stirs you up. You know, the devil sometimes tries to bring out this. I told you there's a thin line between sane and insane. You know, and the devil tries to get you to cross over that into that insane side of your mind. You can do that by building the hatred and the bitterness that you see before your life, and it can cause you to go off the rail too. And the next thing you know, you find yourself in a world of trouble, if not in jail, or maybe dead, and maybe whatever. And that can happen to you. So someone's got to be level-headed and help you to calm down. This is what I'm attempting to do. I hope it works for you. Uh, there's some of the videos that we're trying to play for you. I don't think she's got the ones that I really want to play for you, but I had to do that. I had to do that in the future. I had to get my tablet. Um, the only thing I can say this conversation, like I said in the beginning, this year already is starting to be a better year for us than it was the year before. A number of things God has been just throwing things on me that I prayed for. It's coming one right after another, one right after another, one after another. Wow, man. And it goes to show you that if you keep your head and you keep your love and your dedication to God, He will answer your prayer. And I got so much of it going on now. I don't know what to do. All I do is thank God every day, like I do every single day. I did this morning. I was praying to God, thank you, Father, for the things that you've given me. I try to go on there and I do it with my piano. Is want to play my little church songs that I do. I'm at the house by myself, and I just want to thank God for everything He gives me, every minute that He gives me. While I'm still on the planet, I'm here for a purpose, I'm sure. So, and then the one thing I know is to try to help you understand, this thing we call Christianity. Um, there's something else I learned. I was looking at something. The Catholic Church started Mardi Gras. Did you know that? That's one want to bring that to you. That's another thing I was just learning about this week. The Catholic Church is the one that started Mardi Gras. That they go down south, you know, that thing with the beads and all that stuff. The Catholic Church is the one that started it. And so many things, so many different places hide behind things because they don't want you to know some of the evil and the demons things that they started until you find out who the ones that really originated. And I said, wow. That's just some of the things I told, just like I did when I found out about the Nation of Islam, Muslims, and all the things I'm learning about them. That's a lot of that's full of whatever. But a lot of these people, they believe in it. They've been brainwashed and believing and accepting that is the truth, and it's not. It's nothing but a black lie. Things I found about the Masons, everything, you know. I learned as I go along. What mistakes we make. The error is human. But if you make an error, be man or woman enough to admit that you made a mistake and change it. And then I get away from it. Get away from it. But there's so much, many things I could tell you about. I just don't know what order to put them into to get to tell you. Oh, now the one thing they did tell me, just minding that, as you remember, I used to always have Charlie Thomas to the Drifters come to my shows and stuff like that. And Mr. Thomas, you know, he passed away. And I saw Jerome Manning yesterday at Wise Markets, and they was telling me what's going on with them. You know, Rita was Charlie Thomas's wife. She got in charge of them when Charlie passed away, and like he said that she's sort of like treating them kind of like nothing no more. She don't even answer their phone call. I haven't called her in a while. And I used to always call her when I wanted Charlie to come up or anything. She always would talk to me and help me get things arranged to bring Charlie up. But lately, so the guy said that no, she's actually trying to pull some of the Morshack stuff. Like what I mean by that is Morshack was trying to replace Charlie Thomas's the Drifters with younger guys. Well, she's doing it now. That's what they were telling me about because they, as ever since the last time they was out on the cruise ship singing, she decided to try to form another drifter group, a younger bunch of graduates, because she's in charge of the group now. So she's trying to form another group called the Drifters. She's doing it now. That's what Morshack was doing during the Charlie Thomas at that time when he was trying to replace Charlie as he got older. And that's something I try to tell all you young people is if you're in the music industry or you want to get in there, you got to beware of your name that you set up. Prince had it happen to him. They stole his name. So he couldn't go out and call himself Prince no more. They stole his name. They bought it. They owned him. And that they do a lot of that. These groups find that out. Uh, these people are deceitful. You know, they own you. They'll buy your name and own it, and you can't even call yourself who you are no more. It's a shame. Like I stuck with Charlie when he went down when he was learning that he couldn't go out with the Drifters no more. He had to find a different way to go about it because Morishak and them, you know, they made it hurt him to his heart because he was like he said he was a Drifter since he was 16 years old and traveled all over the world and made all these records and stuff. And suddenly he can't go out there as who he was no more. And they found a way that they did with the lawyers and courts and stuff. They found a way they could get around that, and that's why they called it Charlie Thomas's Drifters. So they had to say it that way. And he wanted when he moved here to York, he like he told Lou and them he wanted guys from York to be his background singers. That's why he got all of them, all of the guys, the four guys that he had behind him. They all was from York. He said he wanted these guys to be his background. He and Charlie trained them. He taught them how to be his background singers and stuff and that. He trained them and how to move and dance, whatever, to get to do the choreography for the songs and all that. He trained them, and that's why him and I was talking about this. And he was just saying, he said, Joe, you know, almost 30 or 40 years I was with Charlie. And it says, and I just say that she just don't know about his wife. She's trying to get a little nasty. She's trying to get other guys to replace them. You know, I said, wow. I said, I don't know what's true or not. I don't. I'm just going by what he told me. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But I know it happened to Charlie with Morshack up in New York. That's why Charlie ended up getting away from New York and coming down here and starting all over again. What was left of his career, he made out pretty good for it. That's why I encouraged him most I can because I'm an old school lover. So I used to always brought him to my show and did things with him and continued to bring his name. That's why him and I became good friends because I wanted to make sure that music stayed alive because I used to buy it when I was younger. And it was good, nice and decent, clean songs, stuff that reward you. You could sing a love song for your girlfriend to let her know your love for her, and never with all that filth and ignorance that's in music nowadays. It's nasty and ignorant. So this is why I endorsed him. So this one thing. What was the next video you got?
I'm downloading some right now.
Okay. Well, tell me when you're ready. I guess I have to keep talking then, right? Okay. I had to keep talking till she's downloading some things for you. Um, so anyway, I just want to make sure that that again. I'll repeat to you. Let's get back to about this murder of this woman or something that it really bugged me something awful to see us live. This is another time we've seen, Ford, that Ford gentleman was another police officer putting his hand to that man's neck and cutting off his breath and killing him. And now we got this ICE going at this woman and deliberately shooting that woman in her face. He shot her 3 or 4 times in her face, just blew her brains right out of her head. Murdered. And lied and said that she was trying to run. Because when you look at the video, her wheels were turned away from him, not towards him at all. No way was she trying to run over him. He went after her and kept shooting at her while the woman was driving away. She was trying to get away from him with the gun pointed at her. And he shot and killed her. And they lied and said, oh, he was afraid for his life. See, that's the story they use. But God sees them. God knows who they are. God has a punishment for all of them. Just watch and see, folks. Just watch. Just watch what God does. I tell you, people, none of you get out there and do nothing for these people. Don't get out there and do it. You go to jail. They'll get you for threatening them or anything. God will take care of it. Just believe in God and ask God to handle it, and God will handle it. He'll take care of them. They don't have a conscience. I've been watching a number of these programs where they watch and then record these ICE agents, how nasty they've been, beating people up and kicking, stomping them, and arresting them. And they're men that they have trained not to have a conscience. They have no conscience whatsoever. And because I remember a lot of things and the way some of the officers that were training their police officers to be cold-hearted, as cold-hearted as possible, not to have a conscience. Not just go and do what you got to do. If you got to beat his stomach, if you got to shoot him, shoot him. Kill him, just kill him. They don't think. And you hear some of them talk like that. Like they show you they have no conscience whatsoever to what they do. Nothing. They are a danger to everybody, even to their families. If you ever go back to some of them, I bet you some of them are probably real nasty to their wives and their kids because they don't have a conscience on the things that they're doing. When you give them that badge and put on there and get them to swear that, they become a part of that party of cops that they belong to. And everything that they do now is supported their fellow officers. Nobody else. They don't care about you. They care about the other fellow officers. That's their family to them. You ain't nothing to them. So this is where the problem comes in. When you take a man and rob him of his conscience, and you debilitate him, you cuss down his conscience. You control his conscience, so he can't feel no sympathy or pity for wrong for what he's doing. But God does. God never forgets. God don't ever forget, never. And He has a punishment for you. It's waiting on you, and it's coming towards you. Little by little, they'll feel it. They will. But these are things that's going on with the people. We're hoping that. How you making it okay? Okay. So I know I want to try to figure out if there was a different way, better way we got to download these things better than what we do. But because there is some interesting uh, films I see. A lot of stuff that's not shown nowhere else but where I get them from. Because I go around to different places. It's not always Facebook or YouTube or that kind of stuff. And I don't pay TikTok no mess anyway. I don't give a no TikTok. I ain't worried about that mess. It's just a little bit too much junk on TikTok for me. Because I looked at it and said, oh my God, no, I don't want to be involved in that stuff. I don't want none of that mess. Scotty and I both agree. I said, no, I've seen some stuff on there. I said, no, I don't want to be a part of it. I know Trump, he used all the metals like TikTok and all that stuff to propaganda his lies and his stuff. And I don't want nothing with the devil's on. I want to get away from them, as far away from them as possible. And but that's why I said I don't do that. Scotty and I both say that no, we don't want nothing to do with it. I looked at it and I said, and I said yes, and I see when there was a bunch of trash and ignorance on there. Oh yeah, you can get past some of it and go to some other stuff, but it's not going to be the same as it is on YouTube or Facebook. No, it's not. It's going to be something totally out of whack. And some of the language, some of the stuff that they do, they can get away on TikTok that you can't get on Facebook or YouTube. They can't get away with some of the stuff they do or say. But they can on TikTok. You can do all kind of ignorance, and they endorse that. So I found that I stay away from that. That's the devil stuff to me. I recognize God has showed me stay away from it, and I do. I just reason why you don't see me showing nothing that they show, nothing, not a thing. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna have my soul go to hell, because for watching filth. No, I don't need it. There's so much filth on TV nowadays. It's just something that we all living with in this day and age. We don't need it. Uh, I did get. I gotta say, I just got a brand new scooter, and I don't like it. I don't like. I just got two motors in it, and it's hard for me to maneuver because it's got a joystick on it, and I hate that thing. I hate that. I hate the joystick because it bumps into everything. It's hard for you to control it. You really got to work with it, manipulate to get it around. Now, if I was outdoors and going on the road, I could run it real quick, like there ain't be no problem. But not indoors. So many corners you got to hurt manipulate to get around the corner and stuff. Now, it doesn't respond the way you want. It goes completely the opposite direction. And I'm gonna tell them that insurance companies they're the ones that demand that now. They come up with oh you got to have it. No, I don't. I don't have them. My old scooter, at the batteries was what was bad in that. The battery don't last long in that, so that's why they get me a new one now. I said, well, they can have this thing and you can take that back. But I just, so this, um, am I going to the doctors this week coming?
Yeah.
Which one?
I think it's wound care and you go to several different doctors.
Several different ones. Oh my goodness, that worries me. I think these doctors are crazy now. I'm scared of the women one. I know you always tell me I'm talking about, but those are the ones that cause me more problems. The women doctors. That stuff with Becky Gordon, that family doctor, she doesn't cause me no problems. She knows how to straighten things out. But them other ones, no. And I said, no, something wrong with them. I don't know if they just try to act like the male doctors or something or whatever, but every time I run into one of them, I run into another problem. I run into an infection. Now, you now tell me now, each time that I had an infection, it was caused by the women doctors. See, each time, every time. And I told them the doctors agree with me, but they won't go against another doctor. They don't do that because when I found out how to get the infection, it was what the woman doctor did. And I told him that. I said, then when I showed him his doctor where they started, I said, it's exactly what I told my kids. I said, because I looked at them. I said, these women are hard headed. Then they'll mess up. The one doctor he wasn't a woman, but he was crazy. I'm surprised. I always thought the man was going to fall in there, was going to die on me or something, because he was hunchbacked over and was supposed to be tired and arthritis problems or whatever. His back he couldn't straighten up, and he always looked like he's ready to die any minute. And somebody was a retired surgeon. I said he just find some way to cut on me, some way to make some blood come out of me. They say, oh, blood and bleeding is good. No, it's not. I don't need to bleed. you know. But anyway, after I get, everything else I did here, I got better with all the antibiotics. The thing that got me when they did the pick on me, they put it up here on my chest bone. They put it under the bone. The next day they had to take it back out. That was a big thing they had in there. I said, oh man, I said I didn't need it because they said, you're going home tomorrow. I said, well then why did they put the pick in it then? I don't need it because I'm not going to use it. Because they say because you're cured. I said, then why did they put it in? This the things that get me. And we didn't get back in front of that patient that was in the room with me, did we? That's how I know that poor man. I felt sorry for him. I was calming him down because he was sitting there crying about what's going on. I got him under control. I started picking him up, telling him about God and the Bible, then it calmed him down. Then he said, Joe, thanks. He said, I needed that. I said, I understand. I said, we all need a friend. We need someone that can help us, you know. And it's a long story, but he was by himself. He had no one there to help him, so I understood that. I said, I'm going through it. I said, but I do have a family. My kids, they always come and checking on me or calling me, bug me every 5 minutes. I got two different telephones, and I'm trying to figure which one is ringing. I said, because they started tracking me up on these telephones. I said, wait a minute, do I need two different these phones? Yeah, I guess I did. And my other sister out in California, every Saturday she calls me. I think she's got dementia because she forgets what day of the week it is. And I tell her all the time, I said, what can I do for you now, sis? She's bugged me about coming out there. I said, no, I didn't lose nothing in California, and I'm not coming out there. Nope. I know my brother and his wife, they went out there. And so did one sister of mine. She went out with them. And from what they were telling me, I said, I don't think I want to visit it. No. I know my nephew, I know he drives tractor trailer out there, out there. She was telling me she was so happy about him driving tractor. I said, yeah, okay. The only thing on the thousands of people that's out there, the traffic you had to deal with out there, on the different roads there. And it's good that you learn how to handle that rig because you do. Now, Scotty does good driving this truck. Scotty drives every 5 days a week. And riding with him, he really does good because his truck is automatic. And it's good. They were just starting to really get to that as I was getting out of the industry. I did for years and years. I always had 15 speeds. You go up and how to do the speed, double clutching the gears and all that. I did that for years and years. Now you don't have to do that no more. Just put the pedal to the metal and go. And let it go there. So that was okay. I told Scotty I was very proud of him because I know his mom and dad would have been proud of him too because he wanted to do what I was doing when I told him I used to drive trucks. So he got it. But folks, like I told you then, I was telling the people, I said he had diabetes, and he was on the insulin and that, and so he couldn't do it as long as he was a diabetic. So he had found a way to get rid of his diabetes. He cured it. And I've had him on the show here several times talking to people on how to get rid of it. Now, like I told you, it may not work for everybody. What he done might not always work for everybody. I didn't want to give that illusion, but what he did work for him. That he cured his diabetes. That he can become a truck driver. And he's been driving there about seven years now. Or something out there, been out there with the carnet out there. He's been driving out there, so he's been doing good. And I was I was surprised on how you went through in Philadelphia, went to Pittsburgh, and how you go down in Roseville. And he was handling that 53-foot trailer, man. I said he was backing up the little side roads. I said, you go ahead, Charles. I said, you're acting like me. Because I always did that. So I get in them alleyways and put them back at the docks. And I said, yeah, you got it. And I said, that's right, follow what they told you. I said, don't change nothing. I said, you're doing good. I said, then you got, of course, you're dealing with the four-wheelers and stuff out there. And I said, I was happy with him. So he makes a lot of money. He makes lots of money because they're running him. Can you imagine, Charles, you go to Philadelphia one day, the next time turn around, and they close that all the way back up to Pittsburgh. They come down there and maybe go to Scranton or something like down there. So they'll go down there, going down to Baltimore. They be doing that all day. Excuse me. Excuse me, I got a clog in my throat here. But he's been doing that.
Water?
Huh?
You need water?
Yeah, you got water? Yeah, give it here. Yeah, told you it's dry. It's dusty in here. Yeah, well, I don't know if the people that done over there, 'cause I can hear all that music was coming through the walls here. There's music over there. I don't know what that is. Yeah, that's a lot better. Yeah, you get dry in here. It's sort of musty in here. I told you this one chair, and there's the one chair I ain't sitting on it. The one over beside me, because it must be somebody in there sweating, smelling, it stinks. That chair smells. So I ain't getting that in my clothing. Cause I got enough to have to wash my clothes when they go back home, throw them in the wash and dry them. And that's why I told your boyfriend he wouldn't sit on that chair. I said, you don't want to sit on that chair because whoever sits in that chair, they stink. And the smell's going to get in your clothes. He said, what? He said, oh, yeah. I said, yeah. I said, yeah. There's a lot of stinky people coming in here now and then, and I don't think they take baths. Because I'm telling you, because it smells. As soon as I open the door, I can smell the mustiness. Oh, my God, it's musty in here. That's what I told you. I told you I wonder when it we got to start getting a can of spray stuff in here. That kill the smell. Like, 'cause even when I look back on the bread, I can still smell it. It lingers in here, you know. I said, it's you know, it's clean. It's not trashy that bad, but just the smell of other people that's been in here. And I don't mean nothing personal against them. They're just I don't know what to make of it. I don't know no other words for it. Anyway, you got something downloaded yet?
I only have like 2 little small clips.
But with this them so I don't have to keep talking.
3 minutes.
Well, give it to him. He'll give you some other things besides me talking to you.
Will you be my Valentine?
How old are you?
I'm 35.
I'm sorry. You're expired. I need standards, not charity cases.
Oh my God!
Listen, everyone, I'm the doctor here.
But you're a bird.
I have a degree. I studied at Harvard. You studied at Hard Luck University.
Doctor, I can't breathe.
That's your problem. Bring in the next patient.
Hey, get away from him! Stop! Let go of me! Oh my God, don't do it again. Okay.
Mama.
Baba.
Mama.
Baba.
Papa.
Gente, tá cara a cara com o rei da selva. Valente, hein? Eita!
Meu Deus! Acabou pra ele, fingiu de morto.
Are you trying to murder me? Or just want to ruin my life?
It's just a shot, buddy.
Just a shot? That thing can punch a wall and I still feel it! Officer! You broke my trust!
Honey, you're so funny. Will you marry me?
How old are you?
I'm 31.
Sorry, expired.
Oh my God!